Are you an Australian business owner and you're thinking about hiring a virtual assistant, but you're not quite sure if it's going to be right for you and your business? In today's video, we're going to go over the 7 things that you need to know before you hire a virtual assistant service, just so that you know if it's going to be the right fit for you or not. And the 7th reason is definitely the most important and the one that you maybe wouldn't have thought about yourself. So go ahead and make sure that you stay right to the end of the video, because I'm also going to let you know how you can potentially get 10% off our virtual assistant service. I am the co-founder of Outsource Monkey. We're a virtual assistant service in Australia. I've been working with virtual assistants for 4 years now in the online space. So when it comes to virtual assistants, hiring, outsourcing, I'm your go-to girl. So make sure, if you want to learn all about that sort of stuff, to hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you get notified every time we release a new video. Before we get into it, I just quickly want to go over what a VA is, or what a virtual assistant is, and what a virtual assistant service is, because some people don't really know. So I'm just going to let you know before we dive in so that you're not confused. A virtual assistant is basically an assistant that you have online. They can pretty much do anything for you on their computer. So think of it as if you had a personal assistant like sitting next to you. Well, they're a virtual assistant. So they can do anything that your personal assistant would do, but through the internet. So you can get VAs that will help with more general admin type stuff, creative stuff like copywriting and content creation, or you could get videographers. You can basically hire virtual assistants to help you with a huge variety of tasks, which is absolutely fantastic for you as a business owner, because hiring virtual assistants is usually cheaper than hiring somebody in-house. So in terms of a virtual assistant service, basically what we do is we help to pair you with a virtual assistant. So if you wanted to hire a VA and you didn't want to go through a service, you would have to do a lot of the time intensive and heavy lifting yourself. So the job description, and then putting it on all of the platforms, like posting the job description, and then doing all of the interviews and going through all of the candidates, making sure that you actually find the right person. That's obviously a very time-consuming process, and as a virtual assistant service, that's what we take care of. So you literally just let us know what you want from a VA, and then we go ahead and do all of the heavy lifting and all of the time-consuming stuff, and then we just let you know once we find the perfect person. We do an intro call with you and the VA to make sure that they're a good fit, and then you guys can go on your way. That is what a virtual assistant does, and that's what a virtual assistant service can do for you. So let's dive into the 7 things that you need to know before you hire a virtual assistant service in Australia. Now, number 1 is to make sure that you actually need a virtual assistant. So we don't want to get to the end of the first week or something and then you run out of tasks for your VA to do. It is an ongoing thing when you work with a virtual assistant service. Most of the time, they will have maybe a 3 or 6 month contract. We only have a 30-day notice period, but even so, like 30 days is still a relatively long time if you have to manage somebody else and make sure that they have enough work to do. So before you think about hiring a virtual assistant service, make sure to sit down and write a list of the actual things that you would want your VA to do. Is there going to actually be enough work for them to do? Are there key things that you really want them to be responsible for in your business? Basically, if you're feeling stuck working in the business versus working on the business, then we know it's going to be okay for you to hire a virtual assistant. Now, the second thing that you need to know before you go ahead and hire a virtual assistant service is that you need to have a few systems set up in your business before you hire a VA. They can't read your mind. They don't know how your business works. Yes, they might know the softwares that you want them to use, but they don't know how you use the softwares. They don't know where to locate things in your Google Drive. They don't know how you create your content or how you write your emails. Whatever they're going to be helping you with, they need to understand your ways of working in your business, right? So the best way to do this is to actually start to create a training manual that is made up of a whole bunch of videos where you just basically, if you sit down and record yourself on Zoom while you're working, then You can obviously put all of the links to those Zoom recordings in a document. You can put all of your passwords in a document, and you can go ahead and start to build that out as your training manual for when you bring on your virtual assistant. But I wouldn't recommend you hiring a VA without some of that stuff already set up and already outlined, because they need systems to follow. Imagine if you started in a new job and they just said, okay, I need this, this, and this done, and they didn't tell you how to do it. It would be super overwhelming, right? So we don't want that to happen to your VA. The third thing that you need to know before you go ahead and hire a virtual assistant service is that you need to plan out the work for your virtual assistant to do. The virtual assistant service doesn't do that for you. So making sure that if you have sort of repetitive tasks that you want them to do on a daily basis, just outline those in your project management system or in your training manual. And then if you want them to help you with bigger project type stuff, go ahead and add them to your project management system so that they know what they need to be working on. Or you can go ahead and give them sole responsibilities in your business. So, for example, I also run a coaching business. With my coaching business, I have a social media manager, and her sole responsibility is to manage all of my social media platforms. This includes managing my Facebook group, Pinterest account. It includes Instagram, helping me with stories, Facebook page, Facebook group, like all of the things. She helps me manage those, and that is her sole responsibility. And all I really do is just show up on stories. She manages the rest. She helps me with absolutely everything. So she knows that those are her responsibilities. And if there's posts that aren't going live, or if there's an issue with something, that's her responsibility to fix it as well. So you can go ahead and give them tasks to do. You can give them projects, or you can give them sort of like sole responsibilities that they know that that's going to be what they look after in your business. Okay, so the fourth thing that you need to know before you go ahead and hire a virtual assistant service is that you will need to invest a little bit of time to train the VA. They're not just going to know what to do from day one, right? Even if you have a training manual, they're still going to have questions. There's still going to be gaps in the information that you've given them. And it's going to take a little bit of time for them to learn your business and your ways of working. And it's going to be the same for you. Like, it's going to be a bit of an adjustment period for you to get to know this virtual assistant and be working with them and have somebody else on your team in an online, remote sort of way versus having somebody in-house. It's going to be learning from both of you. So just allow like a week or two right at the very start where you're a lot more understanding of the questions that they have. Like, try not to get too frustrated with them. If there's something that if they don't know, or if they have questions, like, don't get annoyed. Know that it's just a learning period and an adjustment period for the both of you. Now, if you're thinking about using a virtual assistant service and you haven't yet, I'm sure you have questions about using a VA or using a VA service. So go ahead, drop your questions below in the comments and let me know so that I can help you out. I would absolutely love to help you answer any questions that you have on hiring a virtual assistant service or outsourcing or using a VA. Now, the fifth thing that you need to know before you hire a virtual assistant service is that you really, really need to understand the requirements and the responsibilities that you want this VA to have. So before you even, like, if you're going to be using a VA service, you need to know when you go to that VA service what you want the VA to be doing, what responsibilities, what requirements, if they have to use InDesign or Photoshop or Monday.com or whatever it is. Like, you need to have that already planned out, and you need to know before you go to the virtual assistant service. They're not going to plan that out with you. You need to know what you want from a VA, and then they can go ahead and find the right VA once you tell them what you want. I would definitely go ahead and recommend setting KPIs or key performance indicators for your virtual assistant as well, so that they know what they need to be sort of working towards, or things that they should be aiming for, or goals that you have in your business. Like, set KPIs for your virtual assistant so that they know exactly what they need to be doing, along with their main responsibilities and the daily tasks that they're going to be doing as well. Now, the sixth thing that you need to know before you go ahead and work with a virtual assistant service is that it's a really bad idea to hire a virtual assistant or virtual assistant service in a hurry. You don't want to be doing it last minute once you've already accepted a really large project and things are supposed to be going already. Hire them ahead of time so that you both have time to actually learn each other's ways of working, and so that your VA knows how your business runs and what their roles and responsibilities should be within your business. You don't want to hire a VA once you're really busy and once you have all of this stuff on, and then you're not going to have time to train them, and it's going to feel super hectic for your virtual assistant. I've seen it happen a couple of times where people don't have a project management system and they just sort of throw their VA in the deep end and get them to do all of this stuff, and then the VA ends up quitting because it's too overwhelming and they don't understand what they're supposed to be doing. So we don't want to be like that. Make sure that you hire a little bit before you're ready so that you have that time to adjust and time to learn. Okay, and the number 7 thing that you need to know before you go ahead and hire a virtual assistant service is that they're going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. It's going to be such an easy and stress-free process for you because the VA service, we do everything for you. All you do is let us know what you want, and then you end up with the perfect VA, and then you just get started. It's that simple. Then you have an intro call, and then in Outsource Monkey, we would add you into a Slack channel with a virtual assistant, and then every day they just send you a message saying, hey, whatever your name is, this is what I plan to work on for the day. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to help with. And then at the end of their shift, they'll go ahead and say, hey, whatever your name is, this is what I was able to complete for the day. So it's such a seamless process. It's so easy for you. It'll take maybe about a week to a week and a half for the whole process, in terms of from the first call that you would have with us to being paired and being in a Slack channel with your VA and getting started. So we do a whole bunch of the heavy lifting for you. It's so easy on your part, very stress-free. So if you are thinking about working with a virtual assistant service, as I mentioned at the start of the video, we are going to give you 10% off our Outsource Monkey VA service. Shoot us an email at hello@outsourcemonkey.com.au and let us know that you watched one of our YouTube videos, and we will go ahead and find you the perfect virtual assistant plus give you 10% off. Now, our packages start at $600 Australian plus GST per month, and that's for 2 hours per day if you want to work with your virtual assistant for 2 hours every day. But then we also have 4 hours or 8 hours per day. So if you wanted to go up to 8 hours, it would be $1,900 Australian plus GST per month. It's obviously very affordable to work with one of our virtual assistants compared to hiring somebody in Australia. So go ahead, shoot me an email if you want to. And if you enjoyed this video, or if you have any questions, please go ahead, pop them in the comments, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you get notified every time we release new videos on everything to do with working with virtual assistants, hiring, outsourcing, anything along those lines. That's what this channel is for. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and until the next time, I'll see you later. Bye.